Greetings, armchair generals, and welcome back. This is the third episode of my Japanese campaign for Hearts of Iron 3 using the Black Ice modification version 10.43. Last couple episodes, we basically just ran through the first few days of starting a campaign. A lot of decisions to make, a lot of laws and politicians to set up, different things you need to choose. Left the previous episode off where I went over my typical limit for my diplomatic influence here by a bit, but I want to go ahead and make those changes here. I just want probably about 0.02 per day. That way, I get about a couple points a month or so, maybe a little bit more. So that puts more of my leadership towards espionage and officers, which is good in both cases there. I need to build up my spies a bit. I also need to build up my officers. Right now, at this point, we're gaining about 88 a day. We've got to get about another 5,000 more at this juncture because I want to reach 100%. That's not going to happen, I think, because there'll be a few OOB order of battle events that'll spring some free units for me that will cause officer loss, officer drain. But nonetheless, let's see how we do here. I want to wait until my spies get to about, well, double digits, probably about in the teens, 20s, somewhere around there. And then I'll lower my espionage down so I'm only gaining about 0.65 spies a day, roughly, maybe zero point 0.5, and then swing it towards officers so I can get this number up to 100. Once that happens, then I'll go ahead and swing a lot of my points over to research, and we'll start researching the backlog of things I've got here. 64 different things that I've selected throughout, mostly nation, land force, the grand battle plan, doctrine, subs, carriers, CAGs, a lot of things of that nature. They're all in here waiting to get researched, which we need to do pretty soon. For right now, a lot of my fleets are moving around. That's causing a big drain on my fuel production right now, but that should be changing momentarily here. My fleet should be arriving at their locations soon. We're at, let's see, 563 U's. That should be dropping here pretty soon, probably a matter of a couple days. So let's go ahead and get going. And we'll let a few days pass by here, and boom, now we're into an event. The politician that I selected for my Minister of Science provides destroyer, cruiser, and capital ship practical decay bonuses, which also provides research bonuses, as you can see, to the appropriate level ships too. You can see the small warships, cruisers, capital ships, all are gaining 25 to 30 or so research points, which is pretty cool. I will switch him over to carriers here in probably about 2 years. But this is good because I'm not researching these things at all. Won't be for a couple years. I am researching carriers at this point in time, so this will help at least keep that research a little bit fresh. I'm not losing out on anything. So we'll go ahead and accept that here. This I can go ahead and make Korea a puppet if I desire, but I'm not going to in this case here. We're going to defend the status quo. I don't know why it says Korea will no longer be a puppet. That's interesting. I mean, it gives Korea their own leaders and things like that. It gives them a whole bunch of resources and stuff. So I'm not sure. I've never chosen the cooperate with the imperialists before, so I don't know what that would do exactly. I just always defend the status quo to leave this as it is. So I'll just go and do just that. We don't have any decisions. Nope. We'll let a few more days. The first couple days, I apologize, it took 2 episodes, over an hour and a half to burn through those. These next couple episodes will be pretty quick. We'll get to war in China here pretty soon because I'm just going to be burning through the game here, just letting stuff kind of occur. We have that needs to get a little bit reinforcements. We got a bit too much. I want to hit 50,000 supplies. We're gaining about 1,000 a day. That's not entirely accurate. If I let it go a day here, let's go to the 17th. Well, yeah, about 1,000 a day. It kind of varies, goes from 1,000 to 1,100. So in in about a 2-week span here, I should have over 50,000 supplies, and then I'm going to go ahead and swing all my almost all my supplies here over to production. Probably going to drop this down to about 15 or so. I see. Let's see if we have any decisions. We do not. Nothing else really going on. We're working on our officers. Not sure why all our spies are going away the way they are, but we'll leave that going. At the end of the month, I think I'll go ahead and adjust my espionage anyway and put it towards my officers. Shanghai incident. I mentioned this in the first episode. My plans in regards to coming to China. I have my Marines that'll set up here in Dalian, and we'll invade this peninsula here, take these 2 port cities, re reset, and then we'll go down to take the area around Shanghai. And the reason is this particular event that kicks things off in 10.4. There's a series of events, probably about half a dozen of them, maybe 4 total, that impact Shanghai, gives Japan some units in here. Um, the Chinese will react to these events by putting more and more garrison units and frontline units in Shanghai. So it can become a cauldron if you just let your units just sit in there and try to take it. I've not had luck in that happening, so I will have my Marines try to go and take this area in Shanghai fairly quickly before these events start firing. So that way, when they do, I'll get the units. They'll be free and clear of any enemy entanglements, and I can then use them to push out my position around Shanghai here and start taking it. But this is what starts that whole entire event process off. You can go and pause it, read all the specifics on it. Very historical in regards to the Black Ice team did a great job in all the different events for all the countries. A lot of them are culled from the pages of history and presented in such a manner so you can actually learn while you're playing the game, which is pretty cool. It looks like our fleets have pretty much settled down now. Yeah, see, we're now only using 2.36 fuel, and that's just strictly my military units are still, getting to their places where I told them to go. Um, do I have my garrison unit here? I do. We're going to go ahead and transport. I have a transport fleet that moved up here because we're going to take this garrison unit and deposit him here, so that way he can keep an eye on this Russian peninsula there. I have another garrison unit here that's doing the same up there. But yeah, all my fleets have finally finished doing what they're doing, which is good. Okay. Let things go a bit further. Gonna wait till the beginning of the month. Here we are. Gonna save the game. Not that it's been terribly long, but I would try to save about every 6 weeks or so. I've got quite a few spies, so we want to get into technology here. I'm going to lower this down to gaining, let's say, about 0.5, half a spy a day. And that way we're putting the majority of our points into officers, which we're gaining almost 150 officers a day. We still need about 3,000, so we'll get those officers here this month. We'll get up to 100%. And once we do, then I'm going to swing the majority of my points, my leadership, towards research. So I can start researching this huge backlog of tech that I've got. Otherwise, looking okay. Decisions are all right. Need to boost that up a bit. These can stay where they're at. Supplies are now at 50,000. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and lower this down to about 15. This way, we're actually almost up to 60,000. So I went above a little bit further than I really wanted to, but that's fine. I can start doing my builds right now. Losing a week or so is not going to really hurt me. Check out my trades. I see I'm buying some things I really don't need to be buying. I'm buying supplies, which is stupid because I'm actually making supplies. So we can go ahead and cancel that out and throw the buck back into my queue here. I think the AI had me buying fuel because I was burning through it so rapidly at an alarming pace when all my fleet was moving all around. But now that my fleet's actually sitting around doing nothing, even though we're using about almost 18 fuel, I know we're trading, bringing 10 in. Uh, we're actually going to be seeing a lot of my fuel go up. So I don't need to be buying fuel here. There's $4.50 there. There's $4 there. So we're just over 10 extra dollars a day. So my money's going to start increasing here pretty soon. I do have the AI handle trades. I don't find trading very exciting. This is not a interesting part for me. There'll be a point where I'll turn off the AI trades because I'll have captured quite a bit of China and I'll be bringing the resources in that I need. So I won't be needing to trade quite so much. But for now, I like to let the AI handle it and take care of what needs to be taken care of. We do see here China is at war with itself, as it were. Uh, Communist China, as like to call it, the People's Republic of China, is at war with the Republic of China. Nat China, as like to call them, and Sibi Sanma. That's this country here and this country here. Once all is said and done, this is probably going to be. I don't know if Communist China keeps Longxian or not, but these definitely stay Communist Chinese. Nat China, in response, will take quite a bit of the Gengsi clique territory here. In fact, this is probably going to be the future border of the Gengsi clique. They'll just have this here, while Nat China will have all of this. But that's down the road. I think actually Yunnan stays the same. It looks kind of like if you look at it, pulled out, looks like a dragon to me. This is head, tail, wings. um, Once everything's kind of set, they'll be at war here for a little bit. But once they're at rest, when I come in, I'll actually be looking at conquering and puppeting a couple of nations here. The Gunnison click, because it loses quite a bit of its territory, I just conquer. Same with Yunnan. There's nothing here to really for me to really want. I conquer Shaanxi and Com China. These become Menjiang along with this area down the road. I do puppet Zibi Sanma and the Republic of China. Once I conquer them, I take the historical, take the coastal area. So a lot of this land here that has resources and industrial might will be mine. While that's part and some here in Yunnan will become Republic of China, Nat China. Once we're done here, then they'll have an event. They'll have me move into Tibet and attack them, and after that, then Xinjiang. But we'll see those down the road. Let's keep going here. Alrighty. Budget limitations. Cool. We're getting 10 a day. Hopefully, we'll start getting more pretty soon. Yes, we want artillery focus. I'm not going to ever build rocket artillery. That's just not the Japanese way for me. Yes, we want to upgrade. Good. We haven't got an automotive factory. Yes, deploy anti-air guns. I want firepower and flexibility, not so much mobility there. So we want heavy AA. This event or decision here will buy up a lot of these research technology. It's going to, as historical, it's going to go ahead and boost up the overall Japanese divisional strengths here. So we'll go ahead and say yes on that. This, if you want to pause it, this gives a little more historical basis on the different armies and how Japan chose to set them up here. Did it with here. This is what actually I was referring to. This actually boosts those particular research projects up to their max to where they need to be. I'd like to always do this, so let's go ahead and select that. In fact, if we look at our technology now, you can see they are and they are. Well, actually, those are increased. I think we wait a little bit, and the others that need to be get boosted will do so. There we are. Engineer upgrade. Deploy engineers. Yes. Yes. Again, artillery. We want our artillery to be boosted. Manchukuo. This was started based upon an earlier decision that I selected, where we're going to help Manchukuo be the best puppet it can possibly be here. We want to complete the expansion plan, even though it gives a 10% IC malice for the next few months here. because you see the modifications it does for the resources and infrastructure on Manchukuo help it out greatly. If I say invest enough, then it'll kind of stop some of those events that they won't fire. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes on this here. I believe this and other future events that I agree to and help boost Manchukuo overall. I believe that also helps in Manchukuo providing me some stronger and more expeditionary forces. Not sure on that. I haven't really tried to test it out, but every time I help the Manchurians help their government out, I do get a lot of expeditionary forces. So that I find that very handy here. We're going to go ahead and let this go a little bit further here. See our officers are dropped down quite a bit there. Here's the 226 incident. I think I said 262 in one of my previous episodes, so I do apologize for that incorrectness. This gives me 5 descent. Not a big deal. There's gonna be some future events that are going to lower it by 5 overall once I go through them. So I'm gonna say okay on this. Not much I can do. The hit that I get overall, you saw it's at 5% right now. There's a hit to the ruling party and things of that kind of nature. So that there's some negatives that I have to address and deal with, but for right now, not a big deal. Still getting 1,000 supplies, but I think because this hasn't really kicked in just yet, maybe a couple days, this will start lowering in regards to the amount of supplies being built. Yeah, here it's saying that I'm producing 254 supplies a day. Here, well, that's what we're saying is we're producing 254. We're using 100 of those. The convoy out into network, return to stockpile. I don't understand how that all works. I know at some point, uh, because the amount that I have of IC towards supply, that's going to start balancing downward. But nonetheless, I think that's just the way it is for right now. Our builds, I think I want to make sure that my light infantry gets priority here because I do need these units in right away. The armor, I do need them, but I don't need them right off the bat. Plus the fact that they're not done until January, while these will get done in early October, will mean that I'll finish this out and then I can swing and go towards armor and also my marine unit. So let me go ahead and do that. And we want to queue up my marine unit after that, and then the armor, and then these guys. Thing is, once I finish these 3, I'm going to go ahead and drop them down and then push these 2 up. So that way I can get a full serial of 5 light infantry created and moved in to get ready for the Chinese campaign. And then I'll work on these. Then once all that's done, I'll have some other future builds for my for the Army coming down the road. The Navy's not going to really get touched. I know some people may prefer to have their carriers built right off the bat and early, and I can certainly see that. I may actually still go ahead and do that. Typically, I just wait for my Navy until 1938, but I might push the Soryu and Hiryu and Zuiho up a bit so I can get them out a little bit early. Because the key for Japan to win overall is to have good, strong carrier units. As you see, Japan's an island nation. There's a bunch of sea and islands that I need to control and take over. The United States is way over here. The only way to get over there is with carriers protecting and advancing my fleet and transport units taking it over. So I do have quite a ways to go in regards to carrier builds, but nonetheless, that's something I need to take a look at. Alrighty, we're moving along pretty good. Sadly, that's good there. Sadly, like I said, the officers got dropped by quite a bit. We need now 15,000 officers. We're getting 150 a day. So that's 100 days to get to 100%. Probably not going to spend the next 3.5 months almost going on strictly officer builds. I'm probably just going to wait till that hits 90% and then put about 30 leadership in towards research because I need to get a lot of this stuff researched here. There's a lot of stuff that's going to help out, like basic education. That'd be helping me out right now if I had it. I do see that we're maxed out in several of these things already here. The only things I would need to still get some more on would be AAT, armor, and militia strength. That's all gained through superior strength from superior firepower. But I think I'm happy with the way this is, so therefore I'm not going to worry about putting any research into superior strength here. So I think I'm going to leave everything well alone there. Let's go forward a little bit further. We lost our low popularity. People really, really don't like us, so the leadership modifier went down even further. Not much we can do about it right now, but because of the that coup attempt, but we'll see that reversed here in probably a matter of a week or two. Yes, go ahead and take care of that. We got no decisions to make. Don't think I have any decisions to make for quite a while. We're still gaining 10.75 a day. We got 2 more automotive factories. Don't really care about that. We're not building tanks. Things are looking pretty good. I think actually I'm going to lower my spies down a bit more. Let's say 0.35. Because that's actually, I see going up a little bit. It's actually kind of staying stable, going up some. So I could actually spend the extra leadership toward my officers. Didn't really help it terribly much, 148 a day, but nonetheless, that'll get me closer and closer to my goal of at least 90%. Oh, that's a random event here. We lost out supplies, probably generated due to the very low support that we saw. And I see we are out of rare materials. Yeah. Are we? I see we're buying fuel again. Let's not do that. Thank you. Let's go to diplomacy. Let's see if we can't generate something ourselves here. United States. They've got a lot, but we apparently just bought something from them. Russia. Let's see if we can't offer if they can to sell. They're saying no. Or wait, yeah, I went the wrong way. To sell rare materials, we can't go that much. We are gaining only $5. Wow. That's 9.1. Let's go and decline. Let's back out of that here. There isn't much we can do. We need to start selling some stuff. Normally, I would just let the AI take care of that. But at this point here, I need to make some money. Panama. No, you're not going to buy supplies. Zippy saying, Ma, will you buy supplies? Nope. Canada. I saw very likely, so let's see how far out we can get them. How much money can we get off of them? $9. Let's go and accept that. That's good. Iraq's got 4. Iraq will buy. Yep, we'll do that. Yemen's just got $1, $2. And not much. Okay, they're fine otherwise. Energy. Well, I am actually bringing energy in. Not that much, though. And in fact, yeah, I don't understand. Oh, we're exporting. Okay. Should be it should be importing. It should certainly be exporting energy. So, who's doing poorly? Romania. Ooh. Romania. They will buy 42 energy for 2 money. Okay. How drastic is it going to impact me? They'll knock me down to 23. Netherlands can't do anything with. Philippines, we can't buy from them. Ireland. So 10 energy for 0.7 money. Okay. And Chuko Imperial Army. So that one is saying that, hey, they can handle themselves. We're not going to lose anything. We can send volunteers and officers, or we can maintain permanent contact, which gives up a lot more manpower and officers. That also will lower our revolt risk as well as lowering our recruitment for officers. But again, this gives us some future events that will help us out greatly. I need to improve that here. Looks like now we're starting to lose supplies. We need to boost that up. I want to get up to about 16 here. Keep about 5 below there. Okay. No decisions required. Artillery focus, yes, yes. So we're back to low popularity now, which yay, that should help us for our tech. Back up to almost to 150. And we can lower that as well. Coup is failed. We will say they're going to be beheaded. If we let them in control, we'd actually gain even more descent. But if we behead them, we're going to lose about 2 points of descent there. There's a few other bonuses as well. Our party gains some organization and popularity. Revolt risk goes down because we're showing how strong we are. That doesn't happen if you leave them in control. Unity goes up. Party support goes up. So overall, good to actually have that coup attempt, even though you get that five hit to your descent. That helps lower it a bit. We need to improve that some. And I think there's another event that's going to lower this by additional 3 as well. So we're just going to kind of let things go as they are. Mid-March, I will save again. Nothing really changing. Spies are going the way they should be. That's good. Officers going the way they're going. That's good. Tarn incident. This is the start of events that I can actually go to war right off the bat with Russia. Don't know what happens after that. If there's some events that let me, back out of that. But I like to start off with the take a step back. If you pause it, you can read the specifics on here. It's historical. Before Japan actually went to war with China, there were some flare-ups and actual conflict with Japan and Russia. Right now, we're just going to take the step back and not go to full war, but there'll be some other future events where I'll lose some manpower, some supplies, and whatnot, which I think also it does a negative impact to Russia as well. But for right now, let's let things kind of simmer down there. We're at the midway point, going to save. It's been 6 weeks. Like I said, I try to save about every 6 weeks or so. There's Imperial Guard. Say, yay, we got some elite troops. There'll be some guard units that will be appearing. That'll be pretty neat to have. Our supplies are actually doing all right. We're at negative 91. Actually, consumer goods, we can lower that down quite a bit now. Yeah, we're actually seeing a positive, a net positive. Minus 100, plus 160. So we're actually going up 60 a day. That being the case here, 327. We can go down till we're about negative 260. There we go. I'll stop it at 15 there. That'll give us some points to put in towards production here so we can keep going with our specialized light infantry. The garrison's there. We're going to move this passenger ship here. And I think all my units are where they need to be in Japan proper. Yeah, we got a bunch of guys here. We're going to be moving some units that are here, moving them over. Everybody's pretty much moved here. That's an artillery, railway artillery unit. They move very, very slow. They can trickle in. If I don't see them getting closer to here before, say, April, March of next year, then I'll strategically redeploy them. But I don't need to do it right now. We don't need to burn through supplies to do that. So I saved mid-March, beginning of May. I want to save again. That might be the end of this episode as well, too. About beginning of May, we'll see. If we don't sign the treaty, we lose foreign descent. Yeah, here's where I said we will be losing a bunch of descent as well. We don't want to sign the treaty because we don't want to be held to the restrictions of the treaty. I think if we sign, we don't end up getting the Yamato and Musashi, at least until we can break the treaty and get away from that. Two, that I don't think we get. I think there might be some negatives as well. So we won't sign the treaty. And our descent now is where it needs to be. Okay. Rocking and rolling. I want to get up to 90% here so I can get some research going. Research progress. So, yay, got some research thanks to my scientific officer there. Here's where we're going to be seeing a change in some of our some leaders, some ministers, but we can go ahead and change that in a bit. We'll let this go for a day. We're up to medium popularity because of the change in party and whatnot. No decision to be made, but we're going to go to politics and just make sure that things are as I want them to be. We want to leave Hirohito in charge because that plus 5%. The happy amateur, I think, yeah, that 10% consumer goods is a good bonus. For the foreign minister, I think we want to go back to the ideological crusader. Is that right? Daily descent. This has better daily descent. I don't care about susceptibility to access. We're gonna be joining the access down the road anyway. So yeah, this has better daily descent. So we'll go ahead and put him in charge. The armament minister. I think he's the best. He has no malices. This guy would be minus 15% money. We're doing pretty good with money right now. I don't want to impact that. Crime fighter, I think is, yeah, that's the only guy I want in charge. Political specialist, we want to put the industrial specialist back in charge because that IC bonus would take a money hit, but that's okay. Everything else stays the same. It looks like we're needing to boost our consumer goods there, which I will. Money is at 8.63. That's fine. Okay, my passenger liners are here now. We're going to merge those together. And out of everybody here, let's see. That guy stays behind. There we are. Because that's a normal leader. I don't see a garrison detachment associated with them. That's a normal leader. There's no garrison detachment on him as well. So we're going to go ahead and scoop all these guys up. And I'm just going to move them over at this point in time. I know I'm building the Marine unit for my my leader unit, but he can sit over here until he's ready. So yeah, let's go ahead and just move everybody over, get them out of Tokyo. And who do we have left in Tokyo? Nobody specific or special. Good, good, good. These units are also going to be moved, but for right now, I don't need them over and to get ready for China. I can wait. This guy, heavy artillery, and division headquarters. Let's go and take them on a tour. We'll rebase there briefly. I want to strengthen some of the garrison units I have. Recall 24th Independent Mixed Brigade from Shanghai. Yes, we want to do, because we leave it in Shanghai. I think once war starts with China, that unit will start in Shanghai, and it's just going to get wrecked. There'll be a bunch of garrison units here, and the Chinese will move a bunch of units that are around into Shanghai. It's just going to wreck that unit. I think I'll just end up losing it. My plan will be to take this peninsula with my Marines, and then once that's completed and controlled, then I'll go ahead and move my Marines and send them in to the Shanghai area and take this, because there'll be more events like this. They'll have units appear in Shanghai, and I don't want to lose them. So because I don't want to lose this independent unit here, I want to go ahead and just have them start in Manchuria. Let's break open that. And in fact, there they are. We'll just have them shipped over. This is why I put that 5-unit passenger liner, is because it'll be very handy for units that get created in Dalian. And we want to combine these together and break these up. I have 2 different coastal battleship units. 3 coastal battleships, 3 coastal battleships, 3 seaplane, 2 seaplane. I have 2 different fleets, coastal battleship fleets that I create. They're both going to be hanging out here in the Gulf of Chihili. But once I start a marine invasion, then I'll have one of those tasked to come over here or here to support that marine invasion. They do provide. They're useless, in my opinion, in regards to naval combat. They'll hold their own against the Chinese once war starts, but they're kind of useless in regards to naval combat. But they do provide that Gulf bombardment, that shore bombardment bonus that you can get when you attack. So with them here, they'll provide that bonus into Tianjin. And anywhere else I attack along the coastal areas. So that's what I'll use them for. Okay, so we'll let time go forward a little bit further. Like I said, beginning of May is where I'm going to save again. And we'll see. Might actually go a little bit further. We're getting a little bit far into our gameplay here, which is good. Major worker strike, which will give us the fewer. So if I find the rest of these strike leaders, we will have a revolt risk increase and a daily descent change. But if I say it's nothing much to worry about, it's a 50-50 shot of losing unity. But would it be, so what I'm not sure on. Okay, so that the parentheses there, the ellipses show that yes, 50% chance for all of those to occur, or if I find and arrest them, it will occur. It's only for a month, so let's just say it's hardly anything to worry about, and it looks like it didn't impact me here, so that's good. So we rolled low. Yeah, we're getting to May. I feel that I'll just go ahead and save it here. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pause the game. We've gotten pretty good for our 3rd episode, and I want to go fresh for our 4th episode. I do appreciate everybody watching and listening. If you have any questions, feel free to post that in the comments here or on the forum post. If you want to point out any changes that you feel I should do to my strategy builds and things like that, please go ahead and do. I'm always willing to learn. I'm not set in stone in regards to my playthrough. But again, thank you for watching, Armchair Warriors. I'll see you go ahead on the next episode.